All right, today we are cracking open the Earth's crust to get to the really good stuff. We're talking about the incredible story behind rocks, minerals, and of course, the dazzling gems they create. Let's just dive right in. The source material for this whole deep dive really sets the perfect tone. It calls this entire geological process Mother Earth's drip factory. And honestly, yeah, that's pretty spot on. We're talking about nature's original billion-year-old jewelry line here.
So first things first, we gotta get our terms straight. You've probably heard rock, mineral, and gem used kinda interchangeably, but there's a definite hierarchy. So let's break down what actually separates them. Okay, I love these analogies because they just make it so simple. Think of minerals as your basic Lego pieces, right? They're the pure, fundamental building blocks with a fixed chemical recipe. Now, rocks are like your favorite playlists. They're just a big collection of different minerals all mixed together. And then you have gems. Well, they're basically the influencers of the mineral world. They're the rare, gorgeous, super durable ones that totally won the geological lottery.
So, if rocks are these playlists, let's talk about how they're made. It turns out there are really three main genres, or families of rocks, and each one is formed in a completely different way inside Earth's massive factory.
First up, you've got your igneous rocks. These are the pyros of the group. They are literally born from fire, formed when molten hot magma or lava cools down and gets solid. You see them everywhere, from granite countertops to that dark volcanic rock, basalt. Their entire vibe is just, yeah, I was born from fire.
Next, we have these sedimentary rocks. These guys are the historians. They're made from millions of years of sand, shells, and all these other little particles getting layered up and squished together. Every single layer is like a snapshot in time. It's literally a scrapbook of our planet's history.
And rounding out our big three are the metamorphic rocks. These are the masters of the glow-up. They start their life as some other kind of rock. Igneous, sedimentary, doesn't matter. And then they get shoved deep inside the Earth, where intense heat and pressure just completely change them. You know marble? It used to be limestone. Talk about a transformation. All right, so now that we've got the rock basics down, how do we get from these everyday stones to the absolute superstars, the gemstones? Well, making a gem is way more complicated than making a rock. It takes very specific and usually pretty extreme conditions. This is where the real magic starts to happen.
It turns out there are three main recipes for making a gem. First is the magmatic way. Super hot magma cools down really slowly, giving crystals like amethyst or topaz enough time to grow big and beautiful. Then there's the metamorphic route. You take some minerals, cook them, crush them with insane pressure, and bam! You get rubies and sapphires. And finally, there's the water-based method, which is kind of like nature's rock candy recipe. Mineral-rich water seeps into cracks and leaves behind crystals like opal.
So, what gives these gems those incredible, vibrant colors? You'd be surprised, but it's actually all about the imperfections. The secret sauce is this mix of tiny impurities, these little trace elements, and the unique way the gem's crystal structure plays with light. Get this, a tiny bit of chromium is what turns a mineral bright red to make a ruby, or bright green to make an emerald. It's a little bit of chemical chaos that makes them so beautiful.
And the stories behind some of these individual stones are just wild. For example, some diamonds are over 3 billion years old. They are ancient artifacts from the dawn of our planet. That rainbow fire you see in an opal, that's just light bouncing around tiny, perfectly stacked spheres of silica. For centuries, artists would literally grind up lapis lazuli to create the most expensive and vibrant blue paint. And how about this one? A gem called painite was, for decades, the rarest mineral on Earth. Only 2 samples were known to exist. Every single stone has a story.
Speaking of ancient and epic stories, we have to talk about the undisputed main character of the gem world, diamonds. Because they aren't just formed, they are forged in the most extreme conditions you can possibly imagine. They are, quite literally, built different. The journey a diamond takes is nothing short of an epic saga. It starts deep, deep in the Earth's mantle. We're talking over 150 kilometers down. It's brutally hot and the pressure is just crushing. But that's not even the craziest part. To get to us, it has to catch a ride on a very specific, very violent volcanic eruption that, as our source so perfectly puts it, literally yeets it to the surface at supersonic speeds.
And just to put that pressure into perspective for you,
We're talking over 725,000 pounds per square inch. That is an absolutely insane amount of force. And that's the minimum it takes to squeeze carbon atoms into that perfect, indestructible crystal structure that makes a diamond a diamond.
So, okay, we've gone through all this intense science, but that really only explains what these things are. It doesn't explain why we're so obsessed with them. I mean, what is it about these shiny little rocks that has captivated humanity for thousands of years?
Well, the truth is, it's not just one thing. It's this perfect storm. It's the combination of mind-bending science, breathtaking beauty, unbelievable rarity, and all of the human history and artistry we've attached to them. You could say that every gem is a tiny sculpture made by the planet itself and infused with just a little bit of chaos magic.
So I'll leave you with this thought. The next time you see a gemstone, what are you going to see? Is it just a pretty, shiny rock? Or is it a survivor? A billion-year-old story of fire and pressure, of chaos and creation that took the most incredible journey just to end up right here. Something to think about.